Hey, good morning, everybody. Just want to welcome you to my Instagram live, and I want to talk to you about God, and He is doing creative miracles. And I want to talk to you about letting God create that miracle, getting you ready for the Glory and Prayer Institute that's coming up in October. Go ahead and tag somebody. Let people know that we're doing this live right now, people that you think that this would be helpful for. Also, let us know where you're coming in from. I'm actually on a very short writing retreat. I am getting started with book number 6, weapon number 6. And it's a topic that I know well, and I'm really excited to put it in book form for all of you. Of course, the writing process takes some time, and then the publishing process takes some time. So we're really looking about, maybe 15 to 18 months it'll be out, okay? All right, so everybody, let me know where you're coming in from, and tag somebody that you think that this would be really beneficial for. I see some people from, Lancaster, California. I think that's Southern California. I think I've actually preached there before. I can't remember. I preached a lot of places, but let's see. We've got Alabama here. Good morning, Alabama. Probably going to be a lot of USA people because it is morning time. New Jersey, welcome. Hello from London. Yay. Florida, awesome. Fremont, California, Dallas. Yes, very good. San Antonio, Texas, awesome. Another one from the UK, South Carolina, wonderful, wonderful. Missouri, lots of places coming in all over the US. It is morning time, pretty much, on the west side of the US, just hitting about noon on the east side. All right, good. West Virginia. Excellent. Okay, so talking about letting God create that miracle. Before we get into this topic today, a couple things that are coming up. I have the Seeing the Supernatural book and online live online course that's coming up. That's going to be September 2nd in the US side. It'll actually hit September 3rd in the Australian, New Zealand side. And so I want to make sure that you know about that. A lot of people have so many questions about that. We're going to have a big, massive Q&A in addition to the actual course topics and the teaching and everything. And it'll be all interactive. So I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be in less than a month, so make sure that you register for that. If you register for it, we're going to send you a $25 off coupon for the Glory and Prayer Institute, which is going to be October 20th through 22nd in Turlock, California. That's with me, Katie, Souza, and Tony Kim. And I'm so excited for that because that's all about prayer, worship, the glory, miracles, all of that. So many of us need refreshing. We need like a restart. If you're going cold, man, put yourself in the fire. Come to the Glory and Prayer Institute. And then also the Seers and Dreamers Gathering in Sydney, Australia, February 23rd through 25. I just heard somebody from Ireland is actually getting ready to come over to that conference, and I'm just like, okay, we're getting the global connection already. Okay, so Sydney, that's going to be in Sydney, February 23rd through 25th. So you just click the link in the bio or go to jennifereivaz.com and you can get all of that. But you'll get a coupon, $25 off, if you hit the Seeing the Supernatural book and online course that's coming up in less than a month. Okay, all right, so today we're going to talk about God, letting God create that miracle. One of the things I've noticed, I'm not saying this is for everybody, but this I've noticed for me, and I paid attention to it, and I don't want to make a rule about it, but for me it's been significant. When I encounter something like 2 or 3 times in one day, okay, if I encounter it, I'm like, I've learned to pay attention, because those coincidences are usually, they can be the voice of the Lord trying to get your attention about something. And so I've just learned to pay attention and then check in with God. Okay, are you speaking into this? Is this why I ran into this, twice in like an hour? So these are things that I pay attention to. I don't know if you pay attention to, because I know that God will speak to us through coincidences. He'll speak to us 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times just to make sure that we get it. And so I ran into something when I was ministering at a conference, and I'm like, okay, noted. I'm gonna make sure that I speak into this, so that when people come into the Glory and Prayer Institute, especially, because miracles are going to happen. It's like there's a flow of the glory, and in the glory, anything can happen. And so with that, I was like, okay, what are some things that can actually stop us from receiving God's creative miracle? What are some things? Okay. And when I ran into this, I ran into it like twice within, like, really, I think it was more like within about 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I want to make sure I address this. And what I had noticed is that a few people who joined the prayer line, and they really needed something from the Lord, they didn't receive the way that I believe that God intended for them to receive. And I'm always a person like, let's not blame people. I'm not going to blame people and say you have a lack of faith or anything like that. But their communication to me afterward just kind of told me something, that maybe we need to look at this in the event that we are tying God's hands, and, because he works with our faith. He works with you. He doesn't like override you, most of the time. He just doesn't do that. He works with you. And we are in partnership, literally in everything. And, that's just God's choice. He doesn't have to. He's God. But that's something that he does. And so when I notice that we have narrowed God into like a very small channel, into a very narrow way of moving in our lives, then if that's not what he's doing, then he's just not going to do it. He doesn't submit himself to our narrowness. Okay, he doesn't submit ourselves to the way we prefer things to happen. Okay, and so I noticed with the individuals that they had an idea that God was going to do their miracle in a very, very specific way. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you think that? Why wouldn't you just let it be open and just let him do it the way he wants to do it, and just surrender to however he wants to do it, rather than thinking that it's going to be in this one particular way. And if he doesn't go that way, then it's almost like you have no faith outside of that. And I was just, I just kind of pondered it. Okay, I just kind of pondered it, and all of them thought that was like the Lord told him it was going to happen that way. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so. I think there might be a bit of internal, fear and maybe control, and needing it to happen a certain way, because our control buttons are being challenged. And that's what happens in partnership with the Holy Spirit when it comes to healing, when it comes to ministry in you, to you, through you, is a lot of times we struggle with that control. And it's a normal struggle. So it's one of those things that we just have to recognize and say, okay, I just got to let God be God here. Maybe it's going to happen this way, but what if it doesn't? Let's just get the miracle. Who cares? Okay, God gets the credit. Okay, he's the credit. He gets the healer. We see this in the Bible, a very clear story that addresses this. It's very interesting, and this is, I'm going to bring this to you because in 2 Kings chapter 5, Naaman, he was the army commander for the Syrian army. Okay, so he was high up, he was ranked. The only thing is he had leprosy. Okay, so that made him unclean, that made him untouchable, and yet he was still able to command an army with this issue. And he hears from, he actually took, he had an Israelite girl that I guess they had taken her captive with, a lot of Israeli captives, and she was, essentially made a servant in his household, by force. And so she was telling Naaman, she's saying, I wish you knew about Elisha, because Elisha can fix this leprosy. He knows how to fix this leprosy that you got. And so he, did all the due diligence to go find the guy, got connected with Elisha. And we read in 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 9, it says, Naaman went with his horses and chariot, and he stood at the door of Elisha's house. And Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you shall be clean. Okay, so think about it. He feels unclean. He's unclean. I mean, he wants to be healed. And he actually made the effort to go see the prophet on this, because he had heard that God was with him and God was healing through the prophet. And so verse 11 says, but Naaman became furious and went away and said, indeed, I said to myself, he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God and wave his hand over the place and heal the leprosy. Are not the Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. Okay, so Naaman, okay, keep in mind that he's like, he's like the commander. And, you know, he's used to calling the shots. He's used to being in control. Okay, I want you to hear this. He's used to being in control and telling you how to do it. And Elisha didn't tell him to do it the way that the army commander thought it should be done. And he got mad. He got mad at the prophet. He got mad at the one who could actually connect him with God the healer. All right. He didn't like the instruction. He didn't like what he said to do. He didn't like how it was going to be done. And he got very angry about it. And he thought it was going to be done a certain way, that he would just take care of it and just wave his hand over him and it would be done. If he had to go dip in a river, he'd be in a better river than the Jordan. You know, why the Jordan? Okay. And he was just like questioning the method. All right. And so the issue was, you know, he was going to almost miss his miracle because he was so narrow in the way he was going to receive it. He was like, if you don't do it this way, then I'm just not going to accept it. And he almost rejected a massive miracle in his life. All right. And so verse 13, and the servants came near and spoke to him and said, my father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it? How much more than when he says to you, wash and be clean? So he finally was like, okay, I'll try it. So he went down and he dipped 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. All right, and so this is the thing that we need to consider. You know, these stories are in the Bible for us to understand, for us to examine, for us to learn from, that we cannot put God in a box. If we want creative miracles, if you're missing body parts, if you are missing key organs in your body and you're having to do all sorts of stuff to support things that you don't have in your body, okay? If you've got organs in your body that are going out, if you can't see right, if you can't hear right, can't think right, okay? The thing is, we want God to do it a certain way. We want God to do it in a way that's dignified. We want to keep our dignity in that miracle session. And I have seen God so many times, just dignity goes out the window, but the miracle comes. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen. Okay. Really. But the thing is like, are we willing to just let God do it, however he's going to do it, and just put our dignity on the altar before him, even if it's in a crowd of people? Put our dignity on the altar before him and surrender control, because we want to control it. All right. And us wanting to control it and have it done in a way that, represents our viewpoint of dignity. Many times we're losing the miracle. We're not getting the miracle. And you just have to let God be God. Let the power of God do what he does and submit to it. We want to have a miracle in private. And he doesn't always do that. Sometimes he puts you right in front of everybody and the miracle happens. We talk about supernatural weight loss. People love the miracle of supernatural weight loss, but usually when we do miracle supernatural weight loss, we have to get to the reason why, you can't stop eating. We have to get to the reason why you're putting weight on like a shield. To protect you from something. We got to get to the reason. And if you actually have extreme weight loss in like a service, okay, you don't have any clothes to change into. Your clothes start falling off of you, okay. And then, people are they want the dignity and yet they want the miracle, and usually you can't have both. You're not going to have both, and so you have to let God be God and do what he does the way he does it, and let dignity, just set that aside. Put it on the altar. Surrender how it's going to be done. Put that on the altar and let God be God, and begin to study who he is. He's a healer. Jesus is the healer. and he wants to heal you, but you got to surrender some things because he has to work with you the way it has to be done, and we don't always know what's behind it. We don't understand the mystery behind it. There are keys that he understands about us that we don't understand about ourselves. And so this is what I want to bring to you today. I want to get you ready for the Glory and Prayer Institute, and start helping you now. Start to surrender. Okay, surrender the way you want things done. Some of you have been back row hiders for so long, and the Lord's calling you to the front. I feel like I'm prophesying right now, and he's calling you to the front. But you're going to have to surrender control. You're going to have to let God create it. He's the author. He's the author and the finisher of your faith, your healing, your deliverance, everything. Deliverance is never, ever, ever dignified. It's not dignified. I wish it was dignified. It's just not. And, but freedom is worth it. Okay, so I just want to get you ready for the Glory and Prayer Institute. That's going to be October 20th through 22nd, Turlock, California, Harvest Church. Click the link in the bio, or you can go jennifereivaz.com if you want a coupon for it. Sign up also for the Seeing the Supernatural book and online course that's happening the first weekend of September, okay? All right, thank you, everybody. God bless. I'm here. Book writing, book number 6, coming to you. All right, God bless you.